Hey folks, and welcome back to another episode of Michigan Pathways. This is your host, John, and here we are, the first full show of the new season. As I said, this show caters around beginners and people who are looking to get out on the trail and not knowing really what to use or how to go about getting a lot of these things. A lot of the stuff that I have, I got at big box stores, okay? And there are other things that I have got online, and there are things that I have just incurred over the years, and you may have them just floating around the house. So the thing you want to start off with is the essentials, what I call the 10 essentials of backpacking. These are 10 items. Now, this list does fluctuate. So the ones I give you, people look, well, why didn't he say that? Well, there's other things that you may go on a day hike that you may not need, or you may not want to carry them. So this is a generic list, but a list that, that you should have, or stuff that you should have while you're out there. Now, the first three are the biggest, and you're most expensive because they are going to fluctuate according to your what you want to spend and such like that. So the first one is a backpack. Keep it simple, folks. If you're just going out, I stayed simple, and I still have it, is a 65-liter Ozark Trail that I got at a big box store. So the Ozark Trail 65-liter is a good pack. It carried me through my last 2 seasons, and it's a really nice pack. So, why a backpack first? Well, because you don't want to buy the other two, which is your tent and your sleep system, and then go buy a pack because they may not fit properly. You want to be able to help. You want to be able to find somebody who can help you with that. We'll discuss that here in the channel further. REI does a very good job in helping you set up the pack that you need so it fits comfortably. You have to know that. You just can't go grab something, it may feel right, but it's once you start loading your pack up with all your stuff, then it may not sit properly, and you may, be hurting yourself and not enjoying the trip. So backpack first. I have a 65-liter. That's as far as I go. I've gone down low as far as 50 liters on an overnight trip, but 65 liters is good enough for me. Tents. Folks, there are numerous amount of tents out there. Pick one that I'm going to say is 1 to 2 pounds, okay? I have 1 or 2. I have a Marmot and I have a North Face. Both of mine I were able to get on sale and at a discounted price. So I was able to get, really good tents under $200. Now you're thinking, oh my God, that's just crazy. Yeah, it was at first. But my 2 tents have now lasted me 4 seasons, or 4 years anyways. And they have been out in different, areas and stuff like that here in Michigan. So a 1 to 2 person tent is going to be good enough. Now, the higher you go, the more weight you're going to carry. Keep it simple. If it's just you, I would go to a 1-person tent. Next is a sleep system. The sleep system is important. If you don't get a good night's sleep, you're not going to feel your best the next day. Even if you have a good system, you may not feel the best the next day. But it really depends on what you're getting. First off is air mattress. A very good air mattress with a good R value. This year, kind of going forward, I got some homework for the beginners. What's an R value? Go look it up. I'm not saying it mean, but I had to do the same thing. I didn't. Well, what's an R value? It'll be beneficial. The higher the R value, the better off you're going to be. The next is a quilt or a sleeping bag. Now, you may want one or the other. I prefer a quilt. After doing a sleeping bag, I prefer a quilt. They have open toe boxes. You can undo them. You can lay them out like a blanket. So that way your feet are free. If you are a person that doesn't like their feet pinned up, then you're going to want a quilt. UGQ has always been a good outfitter for me. I designed my first quilt. It was under $200, but it has lasted me a very long time. And since 2019 is when I got my first quilt. And with them, you can design your own quilt, your own colors, your own fill, how cold you want to go with it. I have a 20-degree down quilt with 800 fill. I love my quilt. So the sleep system is important. Next, navigation. You got to know where you're going, folks. Always map and compass. Learn how to do those. There are many shows out on the internet that will help you learn. My always best is hands-on. If you can find somebody who can teach you how to read a map and compass, great. If you already know, kudos. You're already there. Like the North Country Trail, it's marked. So you kind of know where you're going. I always do my research on a section of trail before I go. The North Trail community page is a great place to go. There's other people that have already done this, and they know what to do or how to hike that section of trail. Next thing is first aid. Keep it simple, folks. Leave the trauma bags at home. Band-aids, a couple butterfly strips maybe, Leuco tape, and that may be about it. But I carry a couple different other things. I carry gauze and a roll of surgical tape. I always have. I was a medic for 5 years, and I on my day-to-day persons, I carry a roll of surgical tape because there's a lot you can do with surgical tape. Fire is the next one. 2 is 1, 1 is none. I always carry 2 lighters. A lot of people say that's ridiculous. Well, guess what? When your lighter goes out and you have no way to make fire, then you tell me, was the other one ridiculous? I think not. So that's the best way because you're going to need that out there. Your cook set. Your cook set is the most important thing as well when you're cooking. Stove, cook pot, and a way to eat it. Spoon or spork is what you're going to need. You don't have to get in crazy on the ignite, the burner part of it. I have a simple Coleman one that I paid $20 for, and I still use to this day. You don't need something crazy, folks. The next thing is water. Water is life. It's essential while you're out there. Getting a good water filter, a Sawyer, or even a platypus. I've used both, and you definitely want ways to filter your water. Unless you want to boil all your water, learn how to get... and I always get a good source. If you can find, water that's moving and such like that, you never want to get relief from stagnant water, but if you don't have a choice, you know what to do. Food is another thing. Keep it simple right here. What you eat at home, you can eat while you're out on the trail. Snacks included. This is also food that you would eat for lunch or a dinner. These are not ways to explore new food. Sorry about that, folks. But you understand, this is not a time to explore different foods and stuff like that. If you want to do that later on, that's a great idea. Headlamp or a flashlight. I carry both, which people say, that's just ridiculous. But sometimes I'll have a flashlight and I hang it in the center of my tent to give me some light while I'm in there. Headlamp is if I go out in the middle of the night to take care of business, then that's what I do. So there's the 10. But the other one is you may need a knife. It's always good to have maybe a knife, small one. Keep it small. The other one is also a battery pack with cord to be able to charge your phones up and such like that. So these are just the 10 essentials to start off and to get you out in the backcountry. So I hope you guys were able to enjoy the show, and I will see you out on the trail. Take care. Bye.